All right, Akim. All right, Salakia. Pretty much the video had got cut off. Pretty much this is the conclusion of the video. Uh, Pretty much haven't been titled yet, but pretty much it's pretty much going on the lines of secret disciple or controlled opposition. Speaking about Candace Owens, and pretty much, she's exposing and taking down a powerful organization by the name of Turning Point USA, and this has been actually hijacked by the Zionists. Okay, they were pretty much were funding this thing, and now that C. Kirk is no longer here, the wife has taken over, and now Candace now was pretty much honing in on the wife. Now the wife pretty much she's having a series of episodes concerning Erica Kirk. And Erica Kirk, when you go check it out, she was always she went to acting school. Okay, she was pretty much employed by the CIA. Okay, there's a lot of things that are coming out, and Candace, what she does on her platform is pretty much she puts out clues. Okay, and what she does is she turns over every rock, and then she has a actual tip hotline, or people pretty much email her, and her team pretty much read every email. And with 6 million subscribers, you're gonna have people from all walks of life that pretty much, and somebody knows somebody. So this is how, and her strong suit is to pretty much put the puzzle together, and some people don't like her style of pretty much of journalism, but it's but it's investigative. Okay, she'll search down a rabbit hole, but if it leads nowhere, she just goes on to the next thing. She does put disclaimers out there for a lot of the stuff that's out there, and she'll take what it is and with a grain of salt, and if it leads to something, she'll use it as a piece to the puzzle. But pretty much now, a lot of things have been exposed, and Jimmy Dore pretty much is going to go in on this new smear campaign, and this is what the powers that be. This is what they will do. They will not chase. They will not put their shekels out there for somebody to talk anything bad about them. Okay, to try to play the other side. They're not gonna throw away their good shekels at that. What they will do is they would throw away their shekels at smearing people. Okay, demonizing people. Okay, that's their suit. That's what they do. You see. So now you're seeing now how since she's been fired from Daily Wire, and now she's being pretty much going pretty much in on the powers that be. Okay, and she pretty much has a knack for putting things together and doing an investigative work. Okay, now we're going to continue this video here with Jimmy Dore. And let's see what he has to say about this, because there's a small group of people, man, and like I said, at the end of the day, people may not accept it, believe it or not, but at the end of the day, okay, she's bringing our truth, and her content has been used, and in the future will also continue to be used. Okay, so usually, like I said, controlled opposition is usually in a safe space, and I pretty much think that her life is really in danger, and pretty much she has the security and everything else at the end of the day, but controlled opposition works in a safe space. It doesn't it doesn't expose too much of a lot of things. Okay, they'll put some things out there, but right now she's taking out a whole organization that the small hats pretty much hijacked right now, and their main goal was to pretty much take that organization and groom these, and I think I said in the video, I said Gen X, but I meant Gen Z. So the millennials and Gen Z is what their main audience is, these students. And what they want to do is they want them to be supporters of Israel and groom them to pretty much go out there and enlist and fight in this war, man. Okay, the so-called Goyim, okay? All right, because their children are not going to do it. They're going to have the everyday Joe Schmo, okay? the regular schmegular Edomite, okay, to feel some kind of way about the way things are going. Now, this whole organization started out as a opposition to the whole woke agenda, okay. But now, when you talk about the statistical racism and pseudoscience, okay, that was injected by the small hats because through the donations, they were pretty much giving him his marching orders. Speaking about Charlie Kirk, okay. So this is where this whole rhetoric has come from, and there's a couple other guys out there that pretty much have that same rhetoric, okay. And it's all being headed by the small hats, and this is how they really feel about Jake, and they pretty much use that to pretty much manipulate the minds of the everyday Edomite, so to speak. Okay, that mediocre Edomite. Okay, that pretty much that feels the pain of the resources running out. The crumbs are not falling off the master's table like they used to. Okay, so they kind of feel some kind of way now. You get the so-called, they bring in the immigrants and the DEI and everything else, but these are pretty much the created. These are the crafty counsels of the wicked, man. Okay, you see the scriptures speak about that. Okay, so now this is what the talking points were. Now we're gonna get a little bit into this though, but I'm gonna pretty much expose what controlled opposition actually does look like. But without any further ado, let's play a little bit more Jimmy Dore.
Bam! So that was supposed to drop today, that first episode. And then the Mockingbird press came out for her. So there was obviously an order that went out. And by the way, if Candace Owens was completely crazy, as they say, or evil, and she was lying, why would anyone care? Why would anyone care? But the fact is she's not. And she's caught them in multiple lies. And you don't lie unless you're covering up something. Why would you lie if you're not covering? So they're covering up the assassination. It looks to go directly towards Israel because of Charlie turning on the Israel Project. His whole life, the whole TPUSA thing was a Zionist project. And as soon as he turned from that Zionist project, he was dead. And so this is what this is about. They can't have this. And so here, they all got the same memo. The Hodge twins tweet out. They all got the same memo today to call real Candace Owens a demon. This shit crazy. So here, I'll show you it. Here. I'm convinced Candace Owens is a demon. Candace is a demon. I'm not sure if Candace Owens is merely a demon. What Candace Owens is doing is the most wicked and satanic thing that has ever come from the online right. Just so you know, Candace Owens is pure evil. Candace Owens is a demon from the pit of hell. Candace Owens is a genuine demon. What you are a Candace fan or not, this is evil. Well, I hope they all have to split just the one $7,000 check. Since none of them have the originality to change it up even one bit. You don't even know that you're saboteurs of your own side. You're the saboteur. You're doing the bidding of Israel.
And that's what it is, though, because, these people see this country slipping through their fingers, man. Okay, and like I said before, man, the regular schmegular Edomite is a coward, man. Okay, because they failed to call out the elephant in the room. Okay, and now one thing you can't take away from Candace Owens is that she has a big set of kahunas. Okay, all right, and she pretty much runs circles around grown men that are emotional, that pretty much are too cowardly to speak up for truth, man. You see? Okay? Now, pretty much, I want to end that part of it, though, but I want to bring out another thing that Jimmy Dore spoke about, okay? And I got to use Jimmy Dore as the reference point, okay? Because he pulls no punches, okay? Now, We're going to show you what pretty much what controlled opposition looks like. Now we're going to talk about Dan Bongino. Okay, Dan Bongino, like I said before in the earlier part of the video, he is the ex-deputy director of the FBI. Okay, prior to that, he was a podcaster. He stepped down. Okay, the Epstein files came out and he stepped down. The whole thing with that and the Charlie Kirk situation, and stepped down from the FBI, and now he's going back into the podcasting game. Okay, now Jimmy Dore has a title of with him pretty much crashing out, and it says Bongino goes unhinged, meltdown over Candace Owens. Now let's play a little bit of what Jimmy has to say about this.
Hell on every inch of your body.
So Dan Bongino went off because Candace Owens is going to do a expose on Erica Kirk's background. And if you know anything about her background, it reads like a CIA psyop. 100%. A 17-year-old girl, beauty queen, goes to Romania to start an orphanage for trafficked children. Get out of here. Of course, she starts it at the epicenter of global trafficking. That's where she was, working with the military at 17.
And this was all exposed from Candace Owens. Now, controlled opposition is not going to pretty much reveal so much information to where it's really opening the eyes of a lot of people, man. Okay, you see, you got to remember the whole thing with the Macron thing, the president of France, about his wife being a man. Okay, if that was not untrue, that was not so true, then she would have been sued. Okay, but there's nothing that's coming out of that, man, but truth. You see, so there's a lot of things that she's pretty much digging in deep about and bringing it out, man, and it's great for edification for the brethren. Okay. We're using a lot of her references, man, for edification's sake. Okay, because why? It's because the Lord said they're going to reveal these people in the last days. All right, but let's get a scripture real quick. Slack it for being long-winded, but points got to be made at the end of the day. Okay, this is Psalms 94 verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? And the Lord puts spirits on certain people to do certain things, man. Okay, they may not be so-called in the truth, but people are put in place, man, to perform certain tasks, man. Hey, the Lord is Yahweh is the Father of spirits, man. Okay, so He puts spirits on people, man, to do certain things, man. But this is great for edification's sake. Okay, she is taking down a $250 million industry right now, a corporation right now, or a startup organization, okay, that the small hats want to use to galvanize the mediocre Edomite, man, to go to war for them, man. Okay, all right, they are going after influence, man. Okay, and now what's happening now is that she's throwing a monkey wrench in their plans. Okay, that's not any workings of anybody that's a controlled opposition to throw a monkey wrench into the elite's plans. Okay, you see, all right, and there's also talk that after that C. Kirk assassination, they had got the memo that her and Tucker was supposed to be next. You see, because you only have a small group of people, man, that's pretty much not bending the knee. Okay, and people are being like I said, I'll speak about Tucker maybe in another video, but these people are very inquisitive, man. Okay, they're asking questions. You see, okay, but pretty much, man, we pretty much will take these situations that we're seeing here and seeing how they're playing out in real time, and we filter everything through the scriptures, man. You see, okay, but this is all the Lord. Okay, it says, verse 17, unless Yahweh had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence. You see, and pretty much, man, hey, man, we're speaking upon these things, man. Okay, and pretty much, man, everything's coming to pass, man, about this man being revealed in this last time, man. Okay, and this is how we know that this man is on his way out, man. Okay, he's on his way out. But let's get back to this video here. Okay, about the ex-deputy director of the FBI. Okay, now he was already in the deep state. Now he's back as a regular schmegular civilian, back with his old podcast. Now a little bit of Dan Bongino, you know, is pretty much a fake tough guy. You know, that's his whole persona. You know, he's from New York and, you know, fake tough guy. You know, and pretty much he was a big MAGA. Okay, and prior to him being the director, deputy director of the FBI, he was all MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. Now there's a break into the MAGA now. Okay, now you having people that are you knowing now on who is controlled opposition and who is not. Okay, and the one thing, like I said before, early in the other video, is that for you to be controlled opposition, though, you have to speak favorably of Israel. Okay, now you have the likes of and also, okay, all right. Another point is that these other podcasters, ones that are not speaking about the Epstein files, that don't want nothing to do with it and they're not touching it, those are controlled opposition. Okay, you see, and now you're seeing how Bongino has changed his stance on that. Okay, because prior to him becoming deputy director of the FBI, he wanted those files to come out. And now that he got the big job, okay, he said there was nothing to see here. But let's let Jimmy Dore put it in proper perspective. Slakia.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I'm going to show you the trailer and then I'll show you Dan Bongino's reaction to it.
President Trump says that Kirk has died after he was shot from a nearby building after being shot at Utah Valley University. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead.
The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. I didn't even get to give him a kiss goodbye. That young man, I forgive him.
Take your time.
Erica Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead. It's weird to say excited.
Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century. Merch, hats.
We have 50,000 plus hat orders.
Nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit in a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in, throwing merch out.
Everyone reads differently, so if someone's acting weird, don't read into that.
Zionists, the Prime Minister of Israel, all lied through their teeth about Charlie Kirk.
Her operation was in Constanta, the epicenter of Romania's trafficking scandal.
Weird conversations to have with a 15-year-old. I'm going to touch your butt.
$8.6 million to their own shell company.
What is going on?
We have nothing to hide. My aunt used to tell me, never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
So that's her new series exposing. And here's, by the way, she knew a long time ago and rehearsed her twerking ass off to be camera ready for it and still needed eye drops to go out there. So anyone telling...
She's an actor. Okay, that's really to sum it up. Okay, all right. She's a alphabet operative. Okay, all right, and she was groomed from the very beginning. All right. Now, who you see here on the screen here, that Jimmy Dore is about to put on, this is what you call controlled opposition. So let's continue.
Me that acting is easy deserves to be tortured during the Spanish Inquisition because acting's a lot harder than it looks. Just look at Erica Kirk. Okay, here's Dan Bongino's reaction to it. Let's watch.
Erica didn't choose this, man. She didn't choose this.
Erica did choose this. 100,000% she chose this. She always wanted to be a public person. That's why she went on reality dating shows. That's why she started a movie with all those people from Fort Huachuca. That's why when she became a beauty queen. That's why she went, and when she was 17 years old, she went to work at a an orphanage helping trafficking victims. It's evident that she's 100%. That's why she became the CEO of now a $250 million company, which is going to become probably $1 billion company. And you're not supposed to criticize her or point out when she's lying or that everything in her past reads like a CIA psyop. She 100% asked for this. So Dan Bongino's jumping off point is complete and utter garbage. Complete BS. 100%.
And pretty much, Candace pretty much did the work that the FBI would fail to do. Okay, all right. They created their own narrative of what happened, and then that was it. Nothing else to see here. Okay, but there's a lot of people involved, man, and there's a lot of insiders, man, that was actually knowing about the attempt to assassinate this man. Okay, you see, all right. A lot of money was given out under the table, man. Okay? You see? All right? And now you're seeing that this company is worth $250 billion. Okay? You see? And this is from these billionaire donors. All right? Now, you're going to see now how weak, these men that get on these platforms, and you see how they are, man, through the spirit, man. Okay? You're going to see how weak they are, though, man. Okay? Because right now, man, she's throwing a whole monkey wrench into the Zionist plans for that platform. Okay? All right? Because now people are starting to question it, and she's bringing in hardcore evidence, man, of this being bigger than what the FBI is saying what it was, man. Okay? You see? All right? And we're seeing now the inner workings of it, and the Lord, and hey, man, the Lord is doing a beautiful work here, man. Okay? The Lord is using these spirits, man, to pretty much upset the wicked, man. All right? Real quick, let's get Job. Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And that's pretty much what he's doing. You see? Right? All right? Right? That whole investigative thing is, and everybody's on it. Okay? You see, her pretty much her videos get millions of views. Pretty much, and she'll have over 1 million views within the first 8 hours of it being put up. You see, so a lot of people are waking up to this whole thing, man. Okay, you see, all right. It says, "He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as at night." You see? Okay? And that's pretty much what he does, man. It says, "But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty." And pretty much, man, the narrative that they wanted to paint, man, was to pretty much want to try to throw Jacob in there. Okay? Chiefly because of the pretty much the pseudoscience and statistical racism that Charlie Kirk was pretty much bringing up. Okay? And those are pretty much were talking points that was crafted for him to say. Okay? And he was taking the money. All right? But then he started having second thoughts. But what happened was that he already danced with the devil, man. Okay? You can't renege on that deal. You see? Okay? And pretty much, man, that's why he got deleted. All right? But getting back to this individual here, we're going to see what controlled opposition sounds like.
Said BS, a lie. She is a public person. She's not a quiet, private wife grieving her husband. She's 100% public person on stage with glitter pantsuits and pyrotechnics, throwing out hats and merch. She's on investor calls talking about how much money they're raising off the merch and 50,000 hat sales. And the biggest event of the century was their funeral and all this stuff. She's 100% public person on purpose in charge of a $100 million company. She definitely deserves scrutiny, and she's definitely asking for this. And for you to say not to do that sounds very much like saying don't do your own research. Don't trust the science. Trust the experts. No, Dr. Fauci is a saint. That's what this sounds like. But here we go.
Erica didn't choose this, man.
She didn't choose this.
Yes, he did.
Imagine sitting there in your house and you find out from Twitter or, I don't know, a text or a phone call or that your husband was just shot in the neck for the entire world to see on social media at a public event.
Debatable. Was he shot with a 30-06, Mr. Former Deputy Director of the FBI? Was he shot with a 30-06? Is that what you're saying? Because that's what you said. So we know that didn't happen. We know you're lying about that. So imagine sitting at home and then finding out that your husband just is being lied about, his assassination's being lied about by the FBI. Imagine that. And by the way, she didn't hear it from social media because the amazing Mike McCoy was supposed to have called her the second the bullet was shot. Remember that?
Your husband was just shot in the neck for the entire world to see on social media at a public event. I can't imagine that. I know you can't either. Then you got to go through this. Then you got a bunch of absolute fucking lunatics sending her emails. You did it. Comments.
She's opening up emails from rando people? Even I don't do that. Ooh, she's opening up emails from random people? What are you talking about? Again, so Dan Bongino's lying. His jumping off point is lying. There's 2 lies in a row. And you only lie to cover up something. You don't lie when you're trying to get to the truth.
Right. Controlled opposition is pretty much gatekeepers, all right, for the elites, man. Okay? Nothing to see here. You know, go on smear campaigns, do the bidding for the elites, man. Okay? To pretty much look the other way for something. Okay? Not to to keep, damage control, so to speak. You see? Okay? And that's what Esau's been doing a lot of. He's been doing a lot of damage control, man. Okay? But the Lord said that, man, he will not be able to hide himself, man. You see? Okay? So through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Abishai, whatever way it's going out, it's coming out. Okay? And we have plenty of content to pretty much put up out there and to filter it through the scriptures, man. Okay? Point blank, period. You see? All right? And, this guy here, man, okay, he was part of the deep state. And pretty much now he's back as a regular civilian. And, he pretty much, and this guy, let me show you how weak he is, man. They already told him what it is, man. Okay? All right? And this is what happens, man, when you would get the same treatment that C. Kirk did if you go rogue, so to speak. If you go off the script. Okay? And this is the reason why, Candace Owens had to get her Negro wake-up call, so to speak. Okay? All right? Because, she said it. She admitted that she was green. She didn't understand how the inner workings worked. Meanwhile, Kanye was always telling her, man, about these handlers. You see? Okay? But it stretches far beyond just Hollywood, man. Okay? It goes into sports. Okay? It goes into politics, man. Okay? It goes into the media, so to speak. You see? Okay? So the tentacles of the small hats and their influence, man, stretches across all types of ways of life, man. Okay? You see? All right? But we're seeing now, man, where they already told him what it is, man, and he didn't even have to get no bribe. Okay? They didn't have to bribe him, man. They already told him what it is, man. Okay? Because he was already up there at the top levels of the alphabet organizations, agencies. You see? Okay? All right, and pretty much, man, his reputation now is pretty much in the toilet, man. Okay? You had a lot of those gun-ho Edomites, man, that was rooting for this guy, man. Okay? But you know what I'm saying? He's full of hot air, man. He's a fake tough guy. That's what he is, man. You're gonna see. Watch.
tweets. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. You demonic fucking scum.
There's the talking points. He got him. He got him.
For as much as I hate what just happened, I wish ill on no one, and everyone should restrain their emotions.
He wishes ill on no one. He wishes ill on no one while I ramp up my audience into doing something violent. Here we go.
The other side, because they are not on our side. Everyone. Once you go down the road of violence.
You are not on our side, Dan. You are on the side of the PDF files and the blackmailers and the international globalists and the shadow government. That's whose side you're on, Dan. You're not on this. You're not on our side. You're there to cover up the Epstein files. You're there to cover up Charlie Kirk's real assassinators because it's Israel and you know it. You're not on our side.
Just to rattle off a couple of names of controlled opposition will be the likes of Alex Jones, Glenn Beck. Okay, you know, remember Glenn Beck? He had got fired from Fox years ago because why? It's because he was exposing pretty much, the pretty much the Lashwan Kodash. Okay, in pretty much the relics, okay, that were found in the Western United States, okay, and he got fined for that though. So pretty much, man, he got it back in line, okay, and he's pretty much back for working for them, okay. And again, Alex Jones is really has been of no value, man, except for that Alan Russo interview. Other than that, man, he's been no relevance of anything, okay. All right, none of his content can be used for in no type of edification. Okay, he's not exposing or speaking about anything of relevancy to pretty much put it on a video and to be, and for it to be edifying. Okay, you see? All right, but you got the likes of these people here, man. You got the likes of these other people here that are pretty much on a smear campaign now, man. Okay, you see, and the propaganda is going to continue. Okay.
Turning back. There's always someone stronger than you, man. Always. There's a whole lot of people stronger than me. But I'm sorry if the language distracts from you, but I can think of no other New York way to say it than fuck you, motherfuckers. You deserve to feel the little licks of the flames of hell on every inch of your body.
So Candace Owens deserves to feel the licks of the fire of hell on every inch of her body. But he doesn't wish ill will on anybody.
No.
He can't even get his lies straight. Like he can't even lie from the beginning of a sentence to the end correctly. He can't even have a through line.
Now remember, this is the ex-deputy director, okay? This was Kash Patel's right-hand man in the FBI, man. Okay, second in command. Okay, second in command FBI that concluded that the story happened the way it happened. Okay, you see? And now, pretty much he stepped down, get back into podcasting, and then, and his conscience is probably eating him up. Okay, but he's trying to save face. And anybody that follows this guy, man, is out of their mind, man. Okay, but you're gonna have people that are gonna wholeheartedly follow him, man. And this is why I say, regardless of what people want to say about Candace Owens and her being in controlled opposition, man, her life is gravely in danger, man. Controlled opposition operates in safe spaces, man. Okay, she's doing too much exposing, man, to be some type of controlled opposition. You see? Okay, all right. She's been played, So now, like I said, man, and the worst thing to have, man, is a Judite woman. They usually make the in this world, they make the best attorneys, man. Okay, and investigators, man. Okay, you see, it's like Jake with that woman, man. You probably doing something, that she don't like. She gonna find out, man. She's gonna find out, man. She's doing something that she don't want you to do. Okay, all right. You know, these women are very, very thorough with investigating, man. And that's one of her strong suits, man. You see? And it's pretty much, it's beautiful because why? It's because it's revealing them, man, for what they are, man. Okay? And the rabbit hole goes deep within this whole organization, man. Okay? You see? Let's continue.
Fuck you. If there's an afterlife, oh, and I believe there is, I believe in the second creation. I don't pretend to be the judge and jury, but I know you're not in it.
So it went on for way longer than that, but that's the best parts. There's the best parts. As he dog whistles to bigger psychos who are willing to be violent. And I love his disclaimer. I don't wish ill will on anyone. I want you to go out there and take these people down, but with a notepad. Here's what Candace says. Candace says, public service announcement. We won't be taking any lessons on what evil is from people who protected Jeffrey Epstein raping children and or looked the other way as Benjamin Netanyahu committed a genocide in broad daylight. She's right. I'm not listening. Well, and why is Dan Bongino so emotional about this?
Yeah, I want to know.
Because it's number one, because this all points to Israel doing this in conjunction with the deep state. And guess what? His number one priority in life. You want to hear it?
Sorry. What cause is dear to your heart?
What cause is dear to his heart? What cause? I don't know. Peace. How about ending wars? How about getting everybody health care? How about getting everybody educated? How about bringing good jobs? How about making America stronger? How about making America an economic force like we've never been before? How about building up communities and neighborhoods in America? How about holding the powerful accountable? You want to hear what his number one project is?
What cause is dear to your heart?
Number one cause.
Cause is dear to my Israel. Defense of Israel.
Israel.
What is number one?
Israel.
And that's the talking point, though, okay? Control opposition, that's going to be the top of their list, man. That's going to be their main agenda. You see? Okay? All right? Let's hear that again.
And the defense of Israel. That's the project is?
What cause is dear to your heart?
Number one cause.
Cause is dear to my Israel. Defense of Israel.
What is number one?
Israel and the defense of Israel. That's the number one cause to his heart. A guy named Bongino. So that's a guy who's a deep state guy. That's a guy doing the bidding of your enemies. Dan Bongino is not one of you. He's not one of us. Dan Bongino is one of them. He's working for them. Just like Trump is working for them now and everybody in his cabinet. Everybody in his Department of Justice, everybody in the FBI, they're all now working for them. They're not working for you. Dan Bongino is not one of us. He's one of them. He's not one of you. So that's why. You want to hear it again? What's his number one cause that's closest to his heart?
What cause is dear to your heart?
Cause is dear to my Israel.
The defense
of Israel.
What is number one?
What American says that? Who's not on the take and working against you? Dan Bongino is not one of you. He's not working for you. He's not with us. He's with them.
And that's what controlled opposition looks like. Okay? All right? Coming from the horse's mouth. Okay? All right? Jimmy Dore doesn't pull no punches. Okay? He calls it how he sees it. His content on his channel is pretty much he gets down, man. Okay? This guy's pretty much, man, true blue, man. All right, and pretty much has his integrity intact, man. But the regular Edomite doesn't have no type of integrity, man. At the end of the day, man. Okay, you see, You know, these guys are taking the bag, and they're pretty much are destroying their own country, man, by their talking points and by their stance on what they believe in, man. You see? Okay? You know, they're damaged to their own hurt. But guess what? There is a flip side to this whole thing. Okay? Because the elites are getting frustrated now, man. Okay? So let's put a scripture out real quick. Okay? All right? This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. You see? Okay? And pretty much this is what's going to happen, man. All right? Because this man, he's running out of time, man. Okay? And pretty much his tactics that he's trying to, in his talking points and his narratives, are pretty much a monkey wrench is getting thrown in him. Okay? This is not something that he has signed up for, but this is something that he is appointed to go through. Okay? All right? Right? And that's prophecy, man. You see? Okay? So, this man is coming, man. He's coming. Okay? That sword is about to come out, man, because he's pretty much exhausted all of his resources, his shekels. Okay, he has pretty much spread it out, you know, to pretty much people have to talk favorably for him. Okay, all right. He's not gonna throw his ill-gotten shekels at somebody talking negative about him. Okay, doesn't make sense. You see? Okay, all right. I'm gonna end it with this right here. This is Psalms. Chapter 17, verse 8. You know, this is for the elect. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me, and from my deadly enemies who compass about me. You see? Okay? Right? It says, right? It says, they are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth, they speak proudly. You know, this man, you know, he's in his glory right now, man. Okay? You know? All right? He speaks proudly against the men of the Lord. He speaks proudly against the children of Israel, man. You see? They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Okay, and he's pretty much have gone worldwide, man. Okay, you know, the things that's going on in Cuba and in Venezuela, you know, the fires in Chile. Okay, so he's right now, he's wreaking havoc on the Northern Kingdom right now, man. Okay, all right, and the Lord is pretty much letting this man have free range at them, man, because it's time for them to get in order now, man. You see? Okay, it says, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were like a young lion lurking in secret places, man. Right? Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You know, and the Lord is pretty much, man, bringing judgment upon our people, man. And pretty much the whole point, man, is just to get right, man. These prophecies are pretty much, jumping off the pages, literally. You see? Okay? And this man is about to go down. He's being revealed, man. And we know that his last resort is going to be that sword, man. And right now, you know, we're starting to see that now coming out, man. But it's going to just be a full-fledged perdition, okay? In a hot second, man. You know? But pretty much, you know, this I want to end it there, you know? Okay? But like I said, well, we gotta deal in the spirit, man. Okay? We gotta understand what the Lord has provided for us, and what the Lord puts out there to pretty much expose this man, and vessels that he does use, okay, for edification's sake. You see? Okay? But pretty much, man, you know, we have to understand who's playing what part at the end of the day, man. You know? All right, so with that, I'm going to end it there. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.